Here for a week, so about 5 days. You here about 5 to 6 nights. Okay, so you're totally in the dark. So there is a whole key. Okay, now so you're in the dark because the whole key is we want to look for the light. That's the key. Okay, so the Tao said when you are darkness until you cannot be dark anymore, there will be light. But we are talking about, there are so many light, or we're talking about the true light or primordial light, okay? And the light that we believe that from the beginning, when the creation happened, boom. So we have primordial force, primordial light. And when they come together, they're creating everything. And very interesting that this force, the primordial and creating light are continued. So we say the light from the beginning, okay? And that come in together creating the universe. And now the scientists, they said the universe still expanding. So this light, this light and this force are expanding, okay? But now they discover that there are expansion in a way that being control or order, okay? But if we know that the expansion of the universe continue on, but from the beginning of the Big Bang until now, some scientists say 13 billion years. That's a long time, huh? But I think to the time of the creation, maybe only a few hours, a few days only, okay? Because the timing day over there and us is entirely different. So we only have 24 hours, but the other planet don't have that 24 hours. Okay, we only have 24. So every planet, the day are different. Okay, if you're going to live in the Mercury, if you live in Mercury, it's very short life. You know what? 88 days, 1 year. Yeah. But if you live in the Pluto, you know what? Very long life. Because 88,000 days is 1 year. So that's a very long life. Okay. So that's in our planet alone, the timing are different. So that's why this light, we have to see them, or we have to recognize them, and it hard to fix them. That's the whole key. We cannot fix them because this light is a creating light, and we believe that we need to gathering enough with us to be part of us, in order for us to go back where we said we go back to where we come from. That is a major key of the whole practice. Okay, so so in this part we're talking about so much about this. It's so much involved with this third eye, and we're going to work a lot of opening the third eye, because there are two energy. One is the true light, true force. One is the true light, and one is primordial force. The Tao talk about the Wu Qi, and come with the pure yin, pure yang. Pure yin, pure yang. When they come together, they're creating their polarity, yin and yang. Okay, so that is the whole key we're talking about. To help you opening this is the easy way is in the dark room and do the practice. So now a lot of you, when you started to calm your mind, so a lot of time That's why we are coming in a group. But in a lot of time, we come together. We can help each other. Because oftentimes people get trouble when they stay alone for a long while. And if you haven't cleaned out your emotional, okay, this is the time you're going to get it. So that's why we really emphasize that you learn the fusion. Okay. So what we're going to go through again to clean out the organ, steaming the organ, use the light to clean out the organ and all these things. Because when it's too much, we have a lot emotional. Every day we go on, you know. And so that's why in the basic one, basic and fusion 1, fusion 2, fusion 3, we always talk about you need to clean out your emotional. Okay. So the emotional is one thing that with us very deep. Okay. And sometimes you go into cleaning so long, it's still we produce them all the time. Okay. You got ongoing emotional, ongoing. So we have to learn how to transform it, let go, forgive, forget, let go. That's the key. But when you hold it, now in the dark room, you're going to get it. So sometimes people come in because you come into the worst, two worst thing. You know what? You know what you are coming to worst thing? Hungry and what? Dark. And dark. This is the most fearful thing in what? In human. Yes or no? Yeah. It's the fear. They think that the fear maybe make the children know what to do. So actually, so that's why when we come to as a group and doing together, helping each other, that is a major part. A lot of people can get into some emotional, but simple. All you do is smile and do some sound, and the fusion is the key. Counteract cycle. The fusion is the key. So you have the kidney and heart. They are two older enemies. Okay, they're fighting each other. But if you have a cauldron, you put the water in the cauldron, the fire in the stove. Now they don't fight. You see? So that's the whole key is we have to, and when you bring, for example, in the water, we say kidney. Kidney, we know that they store fear, phobia, trauma. If we take them out, put it into the water, or we call collection point, because what all we're doing here now, from the fusion 1, from the basic to fusion 1, fusion 2, fusion 3, we have to gather enough energy, enough elements. Okay, and when you gather enough, that is the first energy pure. Okay, or we call the first energy ball. Okay, and the whole key is that when you don't have enough all these elements, so we have yin and yang, and we have 5 elements, and so this one, okay, this physical and the outside gathering. But later on, you need the primordial and the force and light to fix it. Otherwise, it don't stay. Okay. So that's why in the fusion, we're gathering all the fusion, yin, yang, everything, and the outside energy to forming an energy pearl. And now we need to fix them. Without the primordial force, primordial light come into, they cannot fix, and they don't stay. Okay? And that's how we come into refining. But oftentimes, all the whole key, the organs. So cleaning out the organ is still another major part that we need to do. Okay? So we have the inner smile creating cycle and the steaming cycle. Steaming the organ. Steaming the organ is you take the primordial light, primordial force, and 5 elements come together. Now we can clean them. Okay, cleaning the organ, cleaning all the empty space, make the whole organ become more shining, more pure, into a pure color. Okay, of their own pure energy. So that's what the Lasakana Liya. Okay, so now when you get to a level, you see this the light. So now we know that the universe are covered with dark violet light. Okay, so sometimes when you in the second day, but it doesn't mean that is the light. Okay, but the light have to be able to fix and stay. Okay, and after that you're able to come in, because that light, we're gonna, the first thing when the light comes, we're gonna use that light. So for me, I always see the dark violet light, and when come in, it turn more. And people sometimes they see white light, sometimes they see golden light. Okay, and so that is the primordial light. So now when the primordial light come in, it's the light. You cannot fix them, you cannot use them. Okay, so that's why the fixing is the eyes. So we call the sun and the moon, you can fix them. Okay, if you can fix them, the light stay. So we call the light come, light go, light come and light go. And you cannot capture them, because light is no form unless you can fix them. There. So that's why we cannot hold the light. So holding a light is the whole key. See? So a lot of you sometimes you move your head and you see the light here, and the light gone. Okay. Sometimes you see here the light gone. Sometimes you see the light gone. So you cannot fix the light. The whole key, you cannot fix the light. So we learn how to fix the light, to hold the light, and use the light into our body. That is the whole key. So it come in here and come in fixing, and so we use the light to clean out the empty space, clean out we have three space, the head space, the heart chakra, and now we're going to clean out the organ and steaming the organ. So when the organ clean, now we can so you can have gathering more energy. When we do this, is all the energy of the organ help doing the job. Okay, and that's why. So we have water and fire, and we have so water and fire is all enemy. When we have a cauldron, we have a stove. And we have a pot. So now it's just like some metaphor for you to understand. So the Tao said, okay, water and fire, you put the water on the fire, it's gone. Okay, so we said the oldest enemy. But if you put the water in the pot and the fire under the stove, now they don't fight. Now they turn into the power. So there's the whole key of. So now when you have these two energy, and you add up more energy from primordial force, primordial light, now and you're cooking, forming an energy, forming another force. Okay, that is the major key of the gathering all the element into one fixed element. Okay, so now we left the metal. The metal is like a knife. The metal like a knife. And we have the liver is the wood. Okay. So usually the metal always, when they're bigger and stronger, they always like to cut the wood. So we call it counteract each other. So oftentimes this happen in our life. So we have it's a conflict. We call internal conflict. So we have the water distinguish the fire, and the fire melt the metal, and it's no form. And the metal, if they if they're strong like a big axe and they cut down a tree, and the tree control the earth, and the earth block the water. Okay, so in this way, in the Tao, we talk about now we have internal conflict. Okay, so some people born can be a very big metal. Okay? For example, somebody born with a very big metal. Okay, and when you have a very big metal, now you're always going to cut the liver. And we know now many things when you kill something, when you kill a liver, it can hurt the heart or hurt the kidney. You see, so either way, we are hurting other things. Or a lot of times, this liver are a lot of medicine that try to heal the liver. It destroys so much on the digestion system in the stomach or the spleen or the pancreas. Now we know a lot of medicine that way, and a lot of medicine you try to heal the kidney, it hurting or killing the heart. See, so that's why in the Tao said, if we cannot fix this internal conflict, we have big conflict, and we have conflict inside. Now we're going to have conflict outside. And when we have conflict outside, it's going to get spread out, and everybody have conflict, like that. So many conflict. So if we cannot dissolve the internal conflict, the external conflict is going to come very strong. Okay? And so when you do this kindly, the important part is find your balance and find the internal conflict by just creating the inner mind, creating cycle. Okay, so we're going to do this creating cycle a lot because it's involved with if you have internal conflict, because one is our balance, one is too strong, one is too weak. And when you started to do the inner mind creating cycle, you started to be more balanced. And each one grow each one. I give birth to somebody, somebody give birth to me. Now I'm okay. So everybody's move in the cycle. Okay, so that is the major part of this practice. Now, the violet light, when we're going to train, we're going to be practice, we're going to start by working on the sacrum. Okay, the sacrum, when we activate the sacrum, it activates occipital bone. Occipital bone, it activates the frontal bone here. Okay, and the frontal bone here, they have a crack here. Okay, actually a crack here. So when this one, when this the sacrum activate the occipital, now it started to activate the temple bone also. So this occipital to activate the temple bone, and the temple bone will start to pull. You feel like something are pulling you out, pulling you like this. So you feel here it started to open. Okay, and when you open, you get in the dark. Sometimes you look very far away. You don't see anything, but you look far. And sometimes you look and you don't aware of it, the light comes. And when you focus on it, what happens? It's gone again. You focus on it. That's why the whole problem. We have to fix it. That's it. So the fix it is going to involve with this, the primordial force. If you have enough primordial force, you fix them very easy. But if you don't have the primordial force, so the primordial force come up into from the ground, or we call below. Okay, so we call the kan. Okay, the yin. But the kan inside, so what? Yin and middle is what? Yang and yin. So yin, yang, yin. Okay. So in the Tao, when you learn later on, is we call the yang within yin. The yang within yin. So sometimes we call the true yang. You see, you have yin, yin and yang in the between. So that we call the true yang. Now, in the reverse, that we have Li is what? Li is what? We have yang on the top and what in the middle? Yin in the middle. Okay, we have yin in the middle. So we have the true yin. Okay, the true yin in the kan. Li, yeah, kan li in li. So that's why the li part, so sometimes we call kan li come together, they get a perfect match. That's what they are creating more, coming together, yin and yang, come together as one. Okay, so when we have that, and we activate when you relax down to the ground and you feel the energy come. And so that's now we're going to come into the what we call Hui Yin. So for man, a way to hold the primordial force, sometimes we call them the true yang. Okay, one dot of power. Okay, because you see, a Tai Chi, you have the yin in the middle have what? Have yang. Okay, so that is the true yang. So now, when this one attract it, the sexual energy attract it, the sexual organ attract it. So the whole key life for man, the number one, when you feel the anus closed and the penis lightly closed, it's not that very hold them so tight. Okay, now the key is this here. Okay, here is the prostate gland in here. So here the prostate gland. Now you have this is bladder, a urine coming down, and this is the seminal. So this one may be easy to see. This is the prostate gland, right? And this is the bladder. A bladder have urethra coming out. So now you have the seminal vesicle. This one don't see very well, but yeah, this one you see. You see, bladder coming down, and this is seminal duct, seminal sperm coming in here, and the fluid from the prostate gland coming in. So this one we call, this point is the key control. Okay, it's the key control, because it's just like if you are lightly contract this area, just very light, you have to find a right control. You lightly contract. Now when you contract, you activate the energy, because the sexual energy also comes from the primordial force. From the beginning, we believe that when we come to this world, the father and mother make love. Okay, so when they make love, they're creating more love. That's the whole key, right? So they have what? Love, arousal, orgasm, love, and compassion. Okay, so when they're creating that, the father passes this energy to the sperm, and the mother passes this energy to the egg. So the Tao said, this is the energy. This is the energy. So when the egg and sperm come in, that's the whole key in the kind of the same. Okay, you're creating an egg, and you have a sperm come in. You see, and that is the force, the primordial force coming in. So now when you have this coming in, now in the Tao, and the Tao say, hey, this is the energy. Okay, this energy is going to draw the energy, the primordial force coming down, and this energy coming going to draw the primordial light, or sometimes we call them a soul and spirit come in. So how much you receive from the parents is how much you can draw. You see, so sometimes people come in with a lot of power, sometimes with very little power. You see, so that is that we believe that is in a matter of when the mother and father make love, how much orgasm they have. and how much orgasm, love and orgasm, they pass to the baby. That is a key. Okay? Now, after that, we store part of the major energy in the dantian, part of it in the kidney. Then in the dantian, it's spread out into the yin organs. So all the major yin organs, so that's why we need to gather this energy to do it. So the 5 elements of energy, we need to gather from organs, yin organ. So now, but another 25% is stored in the sexual organ. And we use so much in daily life, so the energy in here, we cannot do anything much. Energy in the kidney, for emergency, we also cannot do anything much. But the sexual energy have a lot of energy there, and it can multiply. And that's why the sexual energy become the one that attract the primordial force again, because they are the same kind. They came from the same, and now this one can attract them. Okay, so when you learn how to lightly close here, so all you do is very gentle close, not very hard. So that's why you learn the healing love. This is easy now. So very gentle contract here. Now when you contract right, the primordial force coming, and it started to vibrate. You feel its vibration. When the vibration, it also helps you see the light. And the light come, because this and this, they are yin and yang, polarity. So when this activate, and you look far, suddenly you see light. When this energy come in, they'll fix it. They're easy to fix it. Sometimes you're sitting there and you don't do anything, or laying down there, boop, the light come. And when you focus on it, it go again. It disappear again. Okay, so that's fixing the light is the major key that you need it. So the fixing the light in the beginning is this, and the organ. So when you clean out the organ and everything, now your organ have more energy. It help you fix the light. Okay, so that's why the whole thing is the dark room, important part. Okay, so once you fix the light, the rest is easy.